Oh, it's been said a bard's life can often be a hard life, or hill and dale to rove and always move from town to town. And some folk have inquired if ever we grow tired of ranging all around the world and never settling down.
But one should be a little wary of remaining stationary. This comfortable is lovely, but it's not the way we grow. When life starts to unravel, pick up your pack and travel. You'll find a strange serenity in places you don't know. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-too-rat-terry-o-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. You've got no map for showing which direction you are going.
But why start on a journey if you know where it will end?
And once you recognize,
to anticipate surprise, you'll relish every twist and turn that lies around the bend. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-too-rat-terry-o-dee-da-dee-da-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. La-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. La-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. The world has got its demons. There are many reasons why you'd find it harder to be brave than be afraid. But every life could use some danger. Every friend was once a stranger. Ships are safe in harbor, but that's not why ships are made.
Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-too-rat-terry-o-dee, da-dee, a fwit-da-dee-da-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Da-da-da-da-da-lie-da-lie. Adventures waiting further down the road. Let's go! Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. La-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. La-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Greetings, friends, and welcome to another edition of Gothic Horror Gaming. I'm your host, the Gloom Master, and tonight we are going to continue on our Gothic horror game set on the Isle of Skye in Scotland in the year 1938. Before we get going, for anyone who happens to be new, this is a live tabletop role-playing game played for you live here on Twitch and on YouTube. But as a result, it is a horror game. So I feel a little warning is in order. We deal with creatures of common phobias here. We deal with violence, gore, death, things that are in the horror milieu. But that is not for everyone necessarily. So please be aware that that is the route we are going down this evening. So if you are a fan of horror, please stick around. We'd love to have you. I'd like to take a moment as well to thank all of our sponsors. We're going to start with our perennial sponsor. We have renadventures.com. Renadventures.com, they do tours all over the world, tours given by Renaissance Fair performers in various locations. Sicily, we just went to Egypt recently, all kinds of the Czech Republic we've been to. Wonderful places, but we are doing a special one for the Nat 21 channel. We're doing Destination D&D in Muncaster Castle in England. It's in the Lakes region of England on the western coast. We are playing Dungeons and Dragons in an actual castle, Muncaster Castle, from on June 2nd through the 7th this very year. We've sold a bunch of tickets, but I think there are still a couple left. If anyone is interested, please go over to renadventures.com. Your dungeon masters will be myself, Ryan Gelotti, who is Speedy Pete Boyd here on Gothic Horror Gaming, as well as Paulo Garbanzo himself. So please join us. We're going to have a great time, explore some history, and then play D&D in those historic places. We also would like to thank our friends at 3dtu.org, our friends Amy and Jesse over there making all sorts of gaming supplies, 3D printing, laser woodcutting, all sorts of things, dice towers, dice trays, journals, all that sort of thing. Check them out at 3dtu.org. And we also would be remiss if we did not plug ourselves. My wife, who is Handler Z in the background, running the comments and that sort of thing. We also have a book out. She writes the stories and the poetry. I narrate them. There is a book. It is available on Amazon as both a Kindle and also a paperback version and an audio version as well, narrated by me. And you can support us on Patreon. You have to go to what's actually on your screen, patreon.com/quill and quote, because we deal with adult subject matter. And as a result, a simple search will not populate your list. You actually have to type in quill and quote. We've got a new story that just came out recently, and more are in the works. So be sure to check that out right there. About the game tonight, our game is set in the Chill universe. Chill is a role-playing game originally put out by Mayfair Games. In it, the supernatural is very real, very powerful, and very deadly. It is also not generally well known. There is an organization that is formed of wealthy individuals who have banded together to fight what they call the unknown. It is called SAVE, the Society of the Eternal Silver Way. I will not butcher the Latin pronunciation, but there it is in front of you. They are not a government organization. They are essentially supernatural philanthropists who are trying to keep the unknown in check. The game system we're using, however, is called Over the Edge. Over the Edge is a very, very simple game that was released in the late 80s, early 90s. All of your characters will have 3 traits that define them, a primary trait and 2 side traits. These traits can be anything. And then anytime you attempt an action, you see if it falls under your traits, and that will determine how many dice you can roll in an attempt to succeed. For instance, if we have a fisherman, let's say he's a lobster fisherman, a lobster boatman. That's his primary trait. He's chosen that as his primary trait. And maybe his 2 side traits are amateur photographer and sports enthusiast. Anytime he goes to perform an action that would require a roll, he sees if that would fall under one of his traits. For instance, if he's attempting to navigate a boat between point A and point B in rough seas, he would roll 4d6, as lobsterman is his primary trait, attempting to hit a target number. If Instead, he was trying to recall who won the 1975 World Series. As a sports enthusiast, that would fall under one of his side traits, and in which case he would roll 3d6 as a side trait and attempt to hit a target number. If it does not fall underneath any of his traits, let us say, for instance, he is trying to rewire a fuse panel. That doesn't really fall under his traits. He would instead roll 2d6. You in Twitch Landia, if that's a place, and it is now because I just made it one, you can spend your Twitch points over there with our good friend, Dracula's stepdaughter, who will keep track of your helps. You can spend your Twitch points for helps, which you declare when you do it, who you want to give that help to, one of our players or myself. That help gives the person who chooses to use that help an extra die to roll. For instance, we have our fisherman. He's attempting to navigate those rough seas, but he really needs to make it. So he chooses to spend one of his helps that he's accumulated. And when he does, he gets to roll an extra d6. So instead of rolling 4d6, he would roll 5 and choose the highest 4, whatever his normal one would be, amount of dice would be. He uses that number. But that gives a higher chance of rolling higher numbers. So that is essentially how the game mechanics work. There are some minor variations thereof, but that is essentially it. A little bit about our setting here tonight. Our players are members of that organization's SAVE. They have been dispatched to the Isle of Skye off the western coast of Scotland to investigate a series of bizarre supernatural happenings that seem to tie in to some nefarious cult dealings that they have encountered in the past. So they're trying to piece it all together. There were some murders. They discovered a creature, the Beast of Odal Pass, on the Isle of Skye, which they defeated. But that is not all that's happening. So they're trying to track down what is the root of the problem. And let us meet our players this evening. We will start off with Lucas Evans. Lucas Evans, welcome back.
Thank you. I'm in a castle.
You are in a castle. Tell us a little bit about that.
We're here at the to visit Flora McLeod, and she's one of the there's a couple of families on this island as we've been going all over, but she's very hospitable, and we've been finding more and more about Aidan McDonald and the nefarious folks that he's been spending his time with.
Yes, indeed you have. You've been invited to stay the night in Dunvegan Castle, the seat of Clan MacLeod, on the western side of the Isle of Skye. With you is Montana Smith, renowned archaeologist, currently now a fellow at Edinburgh University.
Listen, I might not be renowned, with the sarcastic question mark, as you put it in there, but I am certainly nowned. All right. I'm known.
You are very nowned. That's true.
I am very nowned. It's I might not be known again, the renowned, but
I see.
I'm known now.
Now you are nowned. Got it. Very well.
Now nowned.
Very good. Also wanted murderer in the nation of Italy, but
am I
that's
though?
neither here nor there.
No, am I? Things happen.
That's a good point. They don't actually know his name there, do they?
No, well, it depends on how good their investigative work is, whether
they're
they know
busy.
his name or not.
They're pretty busy right now, so
they are. They're getting very busy invading Africa.
Yeah, they are busy in Ethiopia actually at this moment.
Mm-hmm.
So you might be off the hook, Dr. Smith.
Huzzah!
Very good. And also with us is Speedy Pete Boyd.
Yes, I'm not nouned, but I am adjectived. Speedy is the adjective there.
You are indeed adjectived.
Mhm.
Float plane pilot. His plane brought them here. The Loon.
Yes, and I've been enjoying a culinary tour of this part of the world, and I'm looking forward to the breakfast that Jude is going to be preparing for us in the morning.
Yes, Jude, the butler of Lady Flora MacLeod, the head of Clan MacLeod. She's actually the 28th chieftain of the clan.
Happy birthday.
Yes. Wait, what?
I don't know.
Is that what? Okay.
All right. Is she Frosty the Snowman? I don't understand. Happy birthday. So you've spent the night in the castle along with Dr. Sabine Claremont, I'm sorry. And you awake in the morning to the smell of burnt toast. After a quick check, none of you are having strokes that you know
Okay,
of.
good.
And you make your way downstairs, where Flora herself greets you, the matriarch of the MacLeod family. Oh, I'm so glad you're up. I'm so glad you're up. I've got to find a Scottish accent. There it is. It's I'm so glad you're awake and you're here now. I was a little bit worried. I must apologize. I've taken the attempt to make breakfast for you all myself.
Did we oversleep? Is it your ladyship? That's too kind. Thank you for that. Why are you cooking?
It's a matter of necessity. Jude has had a wee bit of an accident.
Oh no.
It's true. He was out apparently attempting to deal in the stables when one of the horses kicked him in the leg and shattered his shin bone. Dr. Sabine is treating him right now.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
But I did my best. Come with me. And she walks you into a dining room. There are several. It's a castle. There are several. It's not the great hall, but it's a little dining room that has been set up.
It's a pretty good hall.
There is some obviously charred toast, a pile of what looks to be cold beans, and some very runny eggs, and perhaps undercooked sausage on the plates. I did the best I could.
Thank you so very much, your ladyship.
This is a feast
really appreciate
we do not deserve.
Yes, you're in an all right hall, not a great hall.
It's a pretty good hall.
It's a pretty good hall.
It's the pretty good hall. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I as you said about your breakfast, which is it's edible. It's not terrible, but clearly this is prepared by someone who is not normally a cook. He was hitching up. He was getting one of the horses ready. He wanted to ride down to the Brock down the way. He wanted to take a look. There's apparently some of the local folk have been mentioning that they've been seeing strange lights at night on the Brock, and he wanted to take a look and see in the light of day what might be going on there. And he was saddling up a horse to go after breakfast, and the beast smashed his leg. I was wondering, I know this is putting you on the spot a wee bit, but he really had his heart set on finding out why the locals were so upset. And I know you were asking about Aidan and all of his doings. He's been seen in the area lately, including at that Brock. I think I mentioned it to you yesterday. Maybe you could take a look.
Of course. Your ladyship, say no more. That's exactly why we're here, is to follow up these kind of leads. So, gentlemen, you agree? We'd be happy to go take a look.
Absolutely. Especially after your absolute graciousness with inviting us to stay here last night and for making the breakfast yourself. This is
Happy to help.
This is wonderful.
Well, I'm most appreciative. Obviously, the resources, humble as they may be here at Dunvegan, are at your disposal if you wish to take a jaunt out there this day and take a look. That would be grand. Just let me know what you need, and I'll see what I can do.
We haven't been in this room yet, have we?
No, you have not been in this room.
I'd like to make an observation roll,
Go right ahead, sir.
and then I'll tell you what I'm looking for, with this. It's a 9, so not much better. I think last time I did about the same. I'm looking for any, and this is probably a thing that I would have discussed with the fellows before bed, or just to check out. The Welsh flag has a dragon on it. I want to see if there's anything close to what we saw in terms of like weird medieval art anywhere, because that's a thing that happens sometimes.
You do see that there is a unicorn tapestry. The unicorn, the national animal of Scotland. But beyond that, there's just looking around, you can see that there are some display cases with various artifacts, old rusted weaponry, pieces of jewelry, old Roman era coins, that kind of thing, in various display cases around the room.
All right. Yeah. So I say we. I'm fine to head out if I'm not looking, seeing anything that really jumps out at anything. The unicorn is interesting because I'm like, a little bit of rearranging. Yeah.
Move the horn to a leg, and yeah.
Well, do you have any requests, any needs, any questions for me? If you're going to head out today, I'll tell you what I know.
Do you have a map of the area that we could just kind of reference?
Oh, indeed I do, and as soon as I find it on the in the list here, I'll show it to you.
Thank you.
She does pull out a little map. This is the Isle of Skye. This is the central portion of it. You can see on the upper left side, there's a Loch Dunvegan, and then there's Dunvegan listed down there. That is where the castle is on that inlet, and it's essentially a fjord that is carved into the basalt rock that makes up most of the island, basalt and granite mixed. And if you look, there's a purplish gray area that represents higher ground. There's a little projection that sticks out down there. If you're following along, before you get right by that lower inlet as well. That is roughly where this broch is that she's mentioning. Dr. Smith, do you want to give me a roll for archaeology so you know about brochs?
I absolutely will. I have rolled a 14.
Oh, very good. Brochs were Iron Age forts and watchtowers kind of combined into one. They are essentially a refuge in time of trouble, and also a lookout point. This one in particular, if you look at that map, that from Dunvegan down to that little bit of projection down there of the grayish purple, that's only about 2 miles away. So from that area, you can see the sea from multiple directions. because you can actually see into Lochtungwegen as well to the south. So an ideal spot to look out for. Brocks were built in the 500, 600, 700 AD era. So late Iron Age sort of things after the fall of the Roman, the receding of the Roman Empire from this region. The Romans never actually got up this far. They stopped only just north of Hadrian's Wall. But so after that government sort of collapsed, a lot of places were kind of left to their own devices. Brocks were ways for local chieftains to keep control and protection for their lands. Usually very simple stone structures.
That was very helpful. I was under the misunderstanding that, like, oh, I think Brock is just like one of those colloquial words for brook or crick, but that is completely different.
No, in fact, here's a picture of an actual Brock.
Oh,
actually, that's a picture of the Brock I'm referring to specifically. It's a stone, the remnants of a stone tower fortification area on a promontory hill. There are chambers inside where people would seek refuge. There were religious chambers in them as well as burial areas in the vicinity as well. It was kind of an all-purpose structure.
very good. Well, 2 miles, we could get there pretty quickly if we're just hoofing it.
Yeah.
Well,
Absolutely.
how are you doing, Monty?
Monty and Lucas, I know you're still down some hit points. I'm going to take the opportunity to roll on behalf of Dr. Sabine and her continued treatment of you. I'm going to roll to see if her ministrations have helped you. Oh, 17. You each can regain another hit point.
All right.
Yes, they are going to
11.
As unappetizing as things can be sometimes in Scotland, they are very hearty. So you have fortified yourself and get an extra hit point back. Montana Smith, you are still need the assistance of a cane or a crutch to get around, but it's not. You are not completely immobile.
Very good. Yeah, if we go at a pace that accommodates me taking some breaks there, Evans, I think we can get along and do this.
Is there anything you need? Says Lady Flora.
If you have horses that won't smash in our shin bones, then yes, we'd love some.
Well, I can get you some. I can get you 3 horses. That's not a problem at all. And for those of you following along, our current hit point totals are thus.
If I gain one back, it's 16. That's the current.
All right, very good. Lucas goes up to 16 and Montana goes up to 12 then, I assume?
No, I just went up to 11.
All right, yours go to 11. Very well. It's one better than 10.
I'm pretty sure I have 45 hit points right now.
I'm pretty sure you don't, but let's agree to disagree. I can get you some horses. You know how to ride?
Yes,
I do.
I do.
Oh.
I do. Yes.
I'm more of a.
That would help you, but yeah, if it doesn't slow you down, that's fine. Yeah. Plus, just in case of emergencies, that's a great idea.
You need 3, right?
I will not.
We'll just take the one for Dr. Smith. That'll help him save him the walk on that leg of his.
Oh, I'll make it go. I've got a groomsman that can get that going for you. Anything else you might need? You might be out there for a little while. Would you like to peruse the larder and take something with you?
Yeah, I guess we could just pack a lunch, as they say.
We've got
certainly some water.
I got some cheese and some bread and some smoked fish. Aye.
Sounds wonderful, Your Ladyship. Thank you.
Not that we'll be too hungry. We had a great breakfast. So
Oh, you're too kind. I know it's mediocre at best, but these hands haven't really worked in a kitchen since I was a wee lass, to be honest. That's what I have people for.
I'll cook for us when we get back.
Well, that would be delightful. I'll make sure that that Jude gets you a inventory of what he's got, so you know what you can work with.
Oh, no worries. I got a lot of KP duty when I was in the Navy, so I'll be fine with whatever you have.
Oh, you're a Navy man, were you?
Yeah. Well,
Where'd you sail?
it's where mostly in the Pacific. That's where I learned to fly. Ironically enough.
My goodness, that's really far away.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you
I-
made it all the way here to our
I
humble
am-
little island.
I am too. It's lovely.
Oh, you're
Uh,
sweet.
My plane's outside. We can maybe I'll show you an aerial view before we depart.
That would be
Montana and I, we're
delightful.
probably already outside. We're just like, is he still in there? Boy.
Well, so do you think he's going to be the new chieftain with the 39th chieftain?
Listen, he's doing great. I'm very proud of him.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you guys want to take with you before you go?
I'm going to. You said there's like medieval like weapons and stuff on the wall.
They're in display cases. They're
Oh.
all old. They're not.
Yeah.
They're not serviceable. Let's say.
Okay.
This is
This yes.
museum science is only really getting going at this point as far as preservation. So a lot of these are rusted and pitted and that sort of thing.
I'm gonna take a very look to see if I can't find like a good walking stick, preferably with something metal on it.
Oh, here's my late husband's walking
I
stick.
could. Oh my heavens! I could not. Oh, if
Oh,
you,
he hardly ever used it.
This is very nice. I thank you. I'll
It's got a little brass knob on the top of the wood.
Okay.
Hey, there you go.
Well, Speedy?
Yeah, there's part of me that's me, the player, is like, we should ask if she's got some hunting rifles or something, but I don't know that I want to do that. It seems pushy and dangerous as well.
Well, I will then. Your ladyship.
Hey,
Do you happen to have any hunting rifles? I know my one friend is probably thinking about them, but he's far too kind to ask.
I am. It's true.
well, I've got some. I mean, we've got some old muskets, but those are from back in the day. But I do have my my late husband's old fowling shotgun.
That would be wonderful.
Oh, I'll get someone to bring it for you. Not a problem. And one of our servants, in fact, does bring you a. It's a shotgun. It's a double barrel shotgun, and it's a fowling piece. It's not. It comes with like about 6 shells that she's got for it. And I haven't touched it in years. I don't know if it still works.
Let me give it a quick once over.
Yeah, it's a little dirty, but it should still work fine.
Okay.
All right.
Great. I'll. Who wants to carry it?
I will.
Okay. Yeah.
If there's nothing else, she directs you out to the stables, and indeed there is a horse already saddled for Dr. Smith.
right. Thank you.
With a little assistance from the groomsman, you manage to get up in the saddle.
All right.
And the
Congratulations on your
groomsman,
big day.
his name is Angus. He says, all right, and you're going to the brook, are you? You just want to go down this road here, and just go to the right, not to the left. That takes you up to Ugg, and you don't need to go there. Take this down, and there's a little village called Vatten. And then right across the way from Vatten is, you'll see there's a hillside, and up on top of the hill, you can see the stump of the brook up there.
All right.
We came from Vatten, didn't we?
Thank you.
I'm sorry?
We came from Vatten, right? Isn't that where we were?
No, it was referenced last time when she mentioned the brook last night. That
we might have seen it flying over. I don't know how high we would have gotten.
You might have caught a glimpse, but you wouldn't have known to look for it. It's a small
Sure.
collection of houses. It's a tiny village. It's maybe a dozen structures tops.
Right, or even the Brock is what I'm saying.
The brook. If you didn't know to look for it, you wouldn't have noticed it.
Sure. Okay.
It really is just that on the top of a rocky hillside, and it's made of local stone, so it does blend in from the air. You might have seen a circular thing if you had flown directly over it, but probably you didn't to be able to land in the loch.
All right.
And so you make
let's hit the road, gentlemen.
Very good. Montana Smith, give me a horseback riding.
Okay.
Because you did serve in the Great War.
I served in the Great War. That's not too bad. I got a 10.
It takes you a while to get used to it, especially with your bad leg. But hey, you don't fall out of the saddle, so that's good.
It's a European horse, so you gotta ride on the other side.
Yeah, yes, you actually have to. It's not just European, British, so you have to ride on the other side of the road. Make your way, you find the village of Vatten without much difficulty. I'm going to put the name in the comments just so you can see it's a real place.
And you said it was not more than a dozen houses or so?
Yeah, it's a small collection of houses. Even to this day, it's not much. I'm sorry, I'm taking a look real quick. Its population is in the current day is 300 people. So it's at this point it's even less than that. It's probably only maybe 100 people live there.
All right. Anybody out and about or quiet?
You can see that because it's right on the water there that fishing is their primary thing, and you see that most of the working folk are either out on boats already or dealing with things that deal with boats. But there are some people wandering around the docks. Well, it's not so much a dock as a small pier. But there are some people milling around. Looks like there's an older gentleman who's repairing some fishing nets. There's a couple of women who are clearly tending to sailcloth and that sort of thing. There is mechanical propulsion here, but you're so far away from centralized industrial that sail and horses are still used for most things.
Right. Especially if we're far enough away from supply lines that they're not bringing fuel up here.
Plus, they're probably just made great because they have been for hundreds of years.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, my note taking is awful and non-existent. But just to clarify, Jude had mentioned that he saw lights coming from the Brock. Is that right?
The people of Vatten have mentioned that, and Jude was coming to investigate that.
Okay. I'd love to go. I'd love to go chat with the guy, the older guy mending some net.
You meander on down into the village. A village is a grand term for this place, but the folks that are out there, there's probably a half dozen people total that you can see out and about. And the old man looks up and sees you approaching. He just kind of watches you as you get closer. You stop up a little bit short of him.
Good morning, sir. Sorry to interrupt your work there.
Hey, strangers visiting down here to Vatten is a bit odd. What can I do for you?
Well, you've got a lovely village here, but we actually came on, I guess, official business. I guess you might say.
And you notice that there's a little stone bottle, like earthenware bottle next to him, and he kind of pushes it behind a pile of rope.
Not that official. Not that official.
Oh yeah. Well, it's just that her ladyship asked us. We're guests of hers visiting, and her ladyship asked us to come up and take a look here. I understand some folks have seen some unusual sights from the Brock.
Oh, she's brought in outside help, has she? Interesting. I
might say that.
That's Connor's my name. Yours?
Connor, I'm Pete Boyd. My friends call me Speedy. I'm sorry?
American,
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. She brought in foreign help, no less. Oh, goodness.
Montana Smith. I'm an archaeologist.
Oh, that's why you're interested in the Brock, are you?
Indeed. Between that and the lights that we've been hearing that her ladyship told us about, we'd love to come and look at it.
Oh, the lights. I saw them myself.
You saw them yourself?
I did.
Was it like a Borealis effect? Was it?
No. It looked like. This could have been about. About 3 or 4 days ago. There was. If you look over there, and he points out across the road that you came in on, and he says, if you look out over there, you can just sort of make out the brook up there, eh? And you can see just like a little squared off part of the top of the hill across the road, probably about a mile from where you're standing. Oh, it looked like there was some firelight of some kind, and there was a bit of a noise. It sounded like there were a couple people up there talking loud, and it's kind of sing-songy, eh? And then there was a little blue flash, and then that was it.
What do you What do you think it was?
Oh, I don't know. I made my way swiftly back home after I saw that. I was just out for a stroll down to the pub down over there, and it was it got when I saw that flash of blue light, it got chilly for a moment, and I didn't like it. It's people messing with things they shouldn't be messing with.
Who would be doing that kind of thing? You said people messing with things they shouldn't be messing with?
No one from around here, eh? Although there were I saw some strangers here about the same time. Aye.
Oh, other outsiders coming through the town.
Aye. Well, one of them was, I think, was that Aiden fella. He's one of them there McDonald's. What he was doing up here, I don't know. They're normally down the other side of the island, but he was with a couple other fellas. One of them was a big fella, big and round, and he had a bit of
They've been causing between you and between us gentlemen here. They've been causing her ladyship a bit of trouble. So might be.
Oh, they're giving her ladyship trouble. If I'd known that, I'd gone up there and beat them senseless.
I would no
Except
doubt
for my lumbago, it probably I had a tough time.
no doubt that you could, but they're not necessarily to be trusted.
Oh, well, they didn't really talk to anyone very much. They just came kind of through, looked around a bit, and then I didn't see them after that. And then it was that very night later on that I saw the lights up there. You think they're connected, do you?
Could be.
Yeah, we're not sure who these gentlemen are, but there's been some other instances along these lines in other parts of the country that they were, or at least the one was spotted nearby with.
And that Aiden has been giving your ladyship a bit of a hard time, but he's young.
Oh, he's one of them there McDonald's. They've got a beef with us, and I don't understand why. It's the clans, the McLeods and the McDonald's. That's old history. I don't know why he's bringing it up now.
Well, some people don't know how to stay busy, like clearly you do, and so they find a business that has nothing to do with anything, and they just go around causing trouble for folks. And we don't like that kind of thing. We just want to make her ladyship just rest a little bit easier.
Oh, well, if you're friends of her ladyship, then you're friends of ours. We all love Madame Flora. She's a fantastic person.
Oh, wonderful. I have a question.
No, aye, young man.
The blue lights that you saw up there.
Aye.
I know you were a little bit away from it, but would you say it was maybe like waist height or higher than that?
It sort of glowed a little bit off the ground. It's hard to tell from this distance, but it was low at first, and then there was a flare up, and then it went away completely.
So okay. Might sound like a silly question, but you don't think it could have just simply been a will-o'-the-wisp, do you?
Well, I've been out on the heath afore, and I have seen little dancing lights out there on occasion, but normally I just attributed that to me coming home a little too late from the pub. But this, it might have looked a little like that. Aye.
Okay.
Now that you mention it.
All right. Well, if you see it again, don't follow them.
Oh, I won't. I'm staying away from that Brock until somebody takes a look and tells me it's all right.
Well,
not that I ever went up there often anyway.
We're going to go take a look ourselves.
Yeah, there's some of the local farmers let their sheep go up and graze up that way, but no one ever stays up there.
Why's that?
Well, it's on top of that hill over there, and it gets really windy and cold, even in the summer. No one wants to stay up around that place.
All right, so no bad superstitious reason or anything for that.
Well, I mean, that place is ancient. Like you kind of believe how old that place is. Like,
you have some idea.
1,000 years is a long time to comprehend, and this is older than that.
That's exactly what you do, Dr. Smith. Comprehend that sort of thing.
That's why they pay me the medium dollars.
Well, if you figure out what's going on up there, please do let us know. The youngins are brought in at night now because everyone's a little nervous.
Right.
Okay.
Well, we'll just take a look and we'll sort it out very quickly.
Well, good luck to you then. And if you need anything, the village would be grateful to help you out if you can sort this matter out for us.
That's
Connor, thanks for your assistance.
Hey, my pleasure. He looks at you for a moment. You care for a wee nip? And he slides the bottle back out from behind the ropes again.
Yes, I would. Thank you.
Oh, aye. Hey, go ahead. It's like rocket fuel. It is potent. It is unaged. It is strong. It curls the hairs in your nostrils a little bit. I made it myself.
Yeah.
Yes, you did. Wow.
Oh. Okay.
Lucas is just like, it's gonna kick. You said your name is Connor.
Aye.
I might be interested in purchasing a bottle of this for myself later, if you wouldn't mind. You said you make it yourself. I don't know how much you are able to spare, but I might be interested.
Oh, I could probably find you a spare bottle around, lad. Now that I know that you're on the up and up, if you will.
Well, we're gonna take a look around, and maybe by the time we're done, if you I don't know, if you happen to find another bottle lying around, I'd be more than happy to purchase that from you.
Well, I'll be
Maybe-
here on the docks in the evening when the boats come back in. And if I find a spare bottle, I'll have one with me, aye?
Perfect.
Got to give some to Dr. Sabine Evans for some medicinal purposes.
As we're walking
That'll
away, I'm like, yeah, it'll clean instruments. It'll also probably burn really well if we need something to burn.
Oh, that is
Look at
a great
you.
idea. Look at you
Thinking ahead.
devilish.
Whatever I
nerd.
don't drink myself.
Sure, and then we can set you on fire, and you'd be a Human Torch.
That's the plan for when I die. I'm just gonna be a candle, yeah. All right, off we go.
All right.
Very well. It's a steep little climb to get up to the Brock. There are some sheep in the area. They're not right around the old ruins, but they are close. But they seem to keep a certain distance from it, probably about 20 or 30 yards away from the actual Brock itself. And as you go up the hill, you can see it's a large stone circle of wall with interior components. There's basically no real trail up there, so you kind of have to thread your way up. The horse gets to about where that sharp cutoff is, and you have to dismount from there, Dr. Smith, to get the rest of the way. The sheep have come no closer than that, that's for sure.
Okay. Are the sheep going no closer than that because it's bad terrain, or because they seem nervous?
Does anyone have any sort of animal skill?
Yes, kind of. Yeah,
Oh, you're a hunter, that's right.
I would know animal behavior.
You're a big game hunter, that's correct. Go ahead and roll that.
That's gonna be only an 8.
It's hard to tell if they are not going up there for other reasons or just because the terrain is rough. But sheep and goats can get around surprisingly well.
Yeah.
And they're not going up there per se, which does strike you as a little odd, but you can't definitively say.
I'd like to roll
Sheep just don't want to go places,
Yeah. I'd
What
like
was
to
that,
roll some I'd like to roll some archaeological investigation.
All right, go ahead. Give me a roll.
All right. Oh, nice. 15.
Judging by the structure and the building techniques of various time periods that you know of, you would estimate that this particular structure was built sometime between 500 and 600 AD, you would guess.
All right.
Fairly serviceable, fairly neglected. There's not a lot of human traffic that has been up here probably in dozens, if not even hundreds of years, which is odd being so close to the village. Very little is disturbed.
That is odd because it's not being preserved.
Do we see any? I'm looking for tracks or footprints. You said you saw some lights over here. I'm looking for footprints of anybody who might have come up here lately.
All right. You can give me your big game hunting roll. Keep in mind you do have helps hanging out. Oops, that's your hit points, not your helps.
How many do I got?
I know you have at least one.
I'm not going to use one, but I'm only going to get. I only got a 6, so.
Yeah, you don't necessarily see anything specific.
I have my suspicions. I'm just looking for confirmation.
This rocky, it's very rocky, and the heather kind of grows out in tufts here and there. It's hard to tell if something has been disturbed lately.
So, while we're walking up here and looking around, all right, fellas, it's been said the lights are happening around the same time that those attacks happened. Pretty convenient.
Yeah.
Timeline wise, a day or two later.
Oh, okay.
The attacks or the lights?
The lights are a day or two later from the attacks.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
And he said singing. That's got to be some kind of ritual.
Yeah, I was thinking chanting, somebody doing chanting.
Yeah.
Well, let's go find out.
You make your way up to the Brock.
Lucas, you're carrying the shotgun. You have a pistol with you as well, right?
Mm-hmm. You want it?
You mind?
Not at all. It's loaded. I loaded. Reloaded it when we were on the plane.
Wonderful.
Thank you. So Speedy is taking the pistol. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. It's a 38. So yes. All right.
Great.
What are you doing with the horse?
Just gonna. Is there anything to tie it off to? Little scrub tree or anything?
There are no trees here.
Yeah, sure.
Bring it with us, just in case it has a reaction that we don't.
Good point.
If you don't mind.
Good call. So, just guiding it.
You get about another 3 or 4 yards forward, and the horse just stops and does not want to go. It stiffens its legs.
Oh, it's out of gas.
There is something here. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, there's our. Oops, sorry. There's our. There's our help total. Just so you guys know.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, let's.
There's a large enough rock you could probably tie the lead around.
All right. Thanks. I will do that. That's all right. Gunpowder. You stay here.
Gunpowder. Okay.
That's the
all right,
horse.
gentlemen. Let's.
Name is Gunpowder.
The horse knows something we don't. So let's go. Let's proceed with caution.
Ignore what the horse knows.
It's like listen, Brocks are no place for a pony, even one as stout and brave as Gunpowder.
Mm-hmm.
So.
All right, thank you, Sam.
Don't worry, Gloom Master his way home.
Very well.
I'm gonna make another perception check with the idea, with just yeah.
All right, go ahead. For your hunter.
Yeah. That's only 7.
Yeah, this terrain is not what you're used to. It's very rocky, and you're used to big game hunting in Africa, where large grasses are pushed down. And even though the heather
And
is fairly
Australia,
long,
yeah.
there's large sections of stone as well, which are kind of dispersing any possible signs you might see.
Yeah.
Let me. I'm going to use a help, but I'd like to. I'd like to use my soldiering quality to scope things out for a possible ambush.
All right, go ahead.
All right, using a help for that.
Using a help, very well.
11.
11. No one. You don't see any signs that anyone is in the area that you can tell. Nor do you see any signs of disturbance that would suggest, like, oh, they dug a pit for us, kind of thing.
All right.
Doesn't mean it's not there. It means that you just didn't see anything.
All right. Be alert, guys.
Well, yeah, no time like the present.
Got a bad feeling.
I'll start heading up the path.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, there's
I'll
not
take the
really a
middle.
path. You just basically climb up to there.
Sure.
Go that way.
And it is a large stone ring, with moss and heather covered stairs that go down into it and up to the outer part of the wall. It's clear that there are some subterranean entrances, chambers, but you can't really see into them at this point. They are low, short stone archways. I will try to find you a picture, but while I do that, what else would you like to do while you're approaching?
Time of day, weather, what's all that?
You're in the early afternoon. It's about 1 p.m. at this point.
I've got the shotgun out.
It is cloudy. It is a little bit windy up here. Not like knock you over gusty, but definitely hair flying in the breeze, kind of gusts of wind coming off the water, rolling up. The area that surrounds it, you're up at a nice vantage point from here. And that's what it looks like down to the water. Fun fact for those of you playing along at home, I took this picture from that Brock looking out at the water. So
because you knew this game would happen.
I knew this game would happen, just like this picture of the Brock. I took that standing down slightly down the hill from it. So
right around the spot where the sheep stopped moving. Okay.
Yeah. Weird, huh?
Yeah.
Clearly, the Gloom Master is to blame for all
This
of
was a tax write-off. This is what this was.
Right, the whole thing.
This wasn't a honeymoon.
This wasn't a honeymoon.
This wasn't your
little-
proposal trip.
Wait, is this entire game just an elaborate ruse for the Gloom Master to show us his vacation photos?
Oh my God, that's what we've been doing the whole time.
You, sir, are correct.
This is nothing but a slideshow.
This is nothing but a slideshow.
Next week, the terror of sandals.
Oh my! He's gonna make us watch his birthday party. Oh my Lord!
We weren't invited to.
There were absolutely no sandals involved. It's Scotland, and even in June, that's not
No, that's
really.
the next adventure. That's Nat 21 presents Crazy in Jamaica.
Sandals, not the shoes.
No, yeah.
The vacation
the
city.
resort. I'm sorry, I'm confused. Give me just a moment.
In Scotland,
I
we'd have
found
to
a
call it
picture
thongs.
of what these things look like.
Next up, the haunting of Foxwood Casino.
Welcome
to
to
the Bermuda
Foxwoods
Shores.
Welcome to the Foxwoods
Uh,
uh, uh, uh, uh, uh, uh, uh, uh, uh, uh, uh, uh, uh, uh, uh, uh, uh, uh, uh, uh, uh, uh, uh, uh, uh, uh, uh, uh, uh, uh, Casino on top of the Brock here in the Isle of Skye. Welcome to the Foxwoods Casino.
let me just show you what like these underground things look like. Oops, I put it on the wrong thing.
Oh,
I needed to put it in. Folks, when you're dealing with StreamYard, there's two different things. It's called an overlay and a backdrop. And make sure you drop your photos in the correct one. There you go. That's what it looks like. Handler Z for scale.
oh, I thought that was the Beast of Odal Pass. I'm sorry.
Oh, hey.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa!
Whoa.
Whoa! Oh no!
But there's a
Listen.
circular outer wall of the Broch. And in that, there are stairs that go down and go into chambers in that fashion. So that gives you an idea of what I'm talking about, the interior rooms.
All right.
That's what they look like.
Okay, excellent. I also have to say, since I'm watching, since I have my screen split here, just this is the actor. This isn't Montana Smith. This is the actor. I very much enjoyed watching the comment on the screen versus, that was brought up by Handler Z versus the comment as it appears in StreamYard, because I'm sorry, in the Twitch chat, because Twitch edited the comment.
Oh, from what?
From what was brought up to just ... My unicorn leg.
Oh. I'll stab you with my unicorn leg. Oh,
yeah.
Interesting.
Stabbing was taken out. It's like, yeah, all right, cool.
Interesting.
And,
Unicorn leg. Not on mine.
It's a
I
case
have
of
the
the
whole
editing
thing.
makes it worse.
And again, as Handler Z just pointed out, that she is being used for scale because I'm American and I will use anything but the metric system.
No metric.
How many washing machines? How many washing machines is Handler Z?
She has 3.
She's 3 washing machines. Okay, cool.
Well, actually 2.5, but you know.
All right, and how many dachshunds does that make?
Dachshunds?
Yeah, how many dachshunds?
Depends. Their breed is varied as far as length. Having
That's
that many dachshunds as I've had.
Yeah. All right.
If you said someone was like 18 dachshunds high, would you be talking about like stacking them?
Are they on all fours, or are they
like shoulders, standing on each other's shoulders?
They would be standing on top of the shoulders because,
shoulders,
like, if they were lying down, it would depend on the position of the person you're referencing. If they were lying down, they would be, 3 dachshund length. If they were standing up, they'd be, 12 dachshund height.
Yeah.
Oh, if they're standing on each other's backs, right?
Yeah.
Right. Gotcha.
All right, but
because
how many?
Because the problems with metric system aside, in terms of the X and the Y axis, we got that down.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
But my next question is, what is the conversion rate between a standard dachshund, if we can just say that this exists, a standard dachshund, what is the overall ratios and conversion methods between that and a Welsh Corgi?
Well, a dachshund height-wise is 0.8 Corgi.
Okay,
Well, here,
0.8 Corgi.
I have an answer to this that will that's if you're measuring width.
Okay, yeah.
They're about the same height and the same length, but width, it's either a dachshund length or dachshund width or Corgi width.
Yeah, Corgi width tends to be like 1.4
like,
dachshund. Yeah.
Yes. Corgis are definitely broader.
Yeah. So would
I
we
want to know
say
how
then that
Handler knows that 2 dachshunds will fit inside of a Corgi?
Because she had to make the turducken of Corgi dachshunds one day.
Adorable dogs.
When the apocalypse happened.
Dr. Smith, I might say you're a monster.
You might say, but we won't because we're friends. Right.
The true monster was the Dr. Smith we met along the way. Murderer and Corgi stuffer.
That
came out wrong.
It was in
That came out completely
comments.
wrong.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you. Good night. Oh, we just lost a
boy.
viewer
Oh.
for that one. All right, great.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was
oh,
me.
No.
Nice.
You
It's me, I
stopped
signed
watching the show you're on.
up.
One less fan.
All right. You are in an ancient Iron Age stone fortress.
Well,
Thank you.
yes, and judging by that picture, I'm going to ask that very charming lady what she is doing here and what she can tell us.
She's a phantom and disappears in the breeze.
Well, problem solved. All right.
Like a will-o'-the-wisp.
No, let's go exploring, eh?
Yeah, looks like we got ourselves a good old-fashioned dungeon crawl.
All right.
You are going to attempt to go down into that chamber.
If there's nothing else to be seen up above ground first, right?
Not really. It's just windswept old rock with I must apologize to my wife for showing this picture once again, just to give you a look. You see, it's just windswept rock and low grass and heather and lichen growing all around. Nothing remains of any interior structures in this thing. And then there's just this almost like a tunnel that goes down.
Well, let's go take a look. I'll take the lead if you guys want.
Do you have a source of light?
We have those torches, right? And by torches,
Yeah.
I mean flashlights.
Flashlights.
Yes, you do have some flashlights.
Yeah.
Lucas's is mainly for self-defense purposes, but yes.
Mm-hmm.
It descends into a small stone-lined chamber. There is a little pile of stone in the middle that looks like a decayed table or some such. It definitely was originally squared off in the middle. Why don't you all give me any relevant sort of perception-esque checks? Montana Smith, definitely use your archaeology as your skill for this.
I'm going to use archaeology and also roll a help on this.
You're going to use a help? Very good.
Yes.
12.
12 from Lucas.
Yeah, I think I'm just rolling 2 dice, but I am going to use the help. So,
all right.
have
Roll
a
3, take
really
the highest 2.
Relevant skill.
17 from me.
17 for Dr. Smith.
12. I rolled 3 6s.
My way to waste that roll. Good job.
Yeah.
This appears to be some sort of ceremonial chamber, Dr. Smith especially notices. The other two, both Lucas and Speedy, it's clear that this place was important. It's a small chamber with a low ceiling. It's probably only about 5.5 feet high when you're actually in it. The stone table, if you will, itself is about 2.5 feet high, roughly man-sized, which strikes you immediately. Dr. Smith, this probably was a burial chamber of some kind. For somebody important.
I take out my little notebook and I just start sketching and drawing of it.
All right, you're frantically sketching it, drawing it. Dr. Smith, this clearly, with your role, is a burial chamber for some important chieftain or something.
Okay.
But what strikes all of you, on the surface of the rock, there are 5 black markings on the surface of the stone on top. And closer inspection reveals that it's wax. it looks like
Points of a
the
pentagram?
residuals of candles, maybe black wax candles.
Recent.
Dr. Smith would know. Yes, recent.
This is new.
How old do you think? About 4 or 5 days?
Need me to roll for
Yes.
that? All right.
Yes, in the past week, probably. They're certainly from this year.
This is
The elements have not had a chance to work on it at all. So these are definitely recent markings.
this is not it hasn't been weathered. It hasn't been
Nope.
aged. There's no mold or anything on this.
Oh yeah. So
Someone was having a ceremony. There's 5 of them. Does it look like Gloommaster if does it look like Gloommaster that it was done as a circle or potentially more of points of a star?
Definitely points of a star. Very clearly points of a star, in fact.
And are there any markings internally connecting them to make that star?
There's a little bit of grit around. You'd probably have to sweep it off to be sure.
Okay.
There is a swirling wind that does come in here. It is windy outside.
All right. All right. I'm going to take out my penknife. Excuse me. Take a sample of the wax.
All right, you cut off a little bit of the wax.
Yeah. I'm gonna take that, put it into my bag. Put it into a little goodness surveys sample bag inside of my satchel that I have.
All right. As you cut through the wax, all 3 of you hear a low rattling moan. Very much of a sound. And a faint blue light suddenly illuminates the chamber.
Emanating
Everybody
from what?
roll me an initiative roll.
Yeah. Loud dice.
And tell me what
12
you got.
for Speedy Pete Boy.
12 for Speedy. Very good.
9 for Montana Smith.
10.
All right. 9 for Montana. And what did you get, Lucas?
10.
All right.
Lighting effects.
Yes, and appropriately colored. As you take the little wax sample and put it in, you hear that moan, and the room begins to glow in a blue light, and like a Pepper's ghost effect, where one image is laid over another, you see a figure rise out of the stone table. It is a desiccated corpse, covered in what looks like ancient rotted leather and patchwork mail, a skeletal rictus face on the head as it sits up, a copperish colored band around its head, gaunt, almost talon-like fingers as it sits up, looks at you, and screams a deep guttural roar. And apparently is it puts its hands on top of the table, stands up, and passes through that table to stand in front of you. Speedy, what would you like to do?
I imagine he. I just start backpedaling away from this thing, and saying, "We did not mean to disturb you. Sorry, we're sorry." And he's kind of panicking and backing out of the room.
Oh, very well. Lucas, what would you like to do?
This is either going to go well or poorly. I say we come on behalf of Clan McLeod.
McLeod.
Yeah.
All right. Dr. Smith, what do you do?
What is my knowledge, Gloommaster, of ancient Gaelic?
I've got a blue skull, you guys, that is flaming, just so you know.
Yeah, there you go. That perfect.
Nice.
Thank you,
I
Ghost
Toss
Rider.
a distractor.
Give me an archaeology roll, please.
All right. Rolling archaeology. Oh my god! Without a help, 16.
It hasn't spoken yet, but your roll is going to come in handy because now it's its turn, and it bellows something in ancient Scott Gaelic, and your rough interpretation of it is, where is my sword? And it lunges at, let's see. It lunges at you, Dr. Smith.
Okay. I hold because I had the penknife, did all that. I have my cane. I'm like,
Very well. Roll me 4d6.
Okay.
But take the 3 lowest because you have a terrible leg wound.
I do.
You do have helps, however, if you wish to use them.
No, I'm gonna let this go all natural because this is terrible.
All right, go ahead.
4d6. You want me to take the lowest 3?
The lowest 3.
All right, cool. In that case, my score is 3.
3.
Oh,
I did exactly what you probably wanted me to do.
I didn't want you to do anything. I was curious to see what was going to happen myself.
Shoot.
The creature's hand passes through your chest. A chill strikes your heart. You gasp as the air, the very vitality of you is sucked out. Roll me 3d6.
All right.
You can use a
a
help.
negative level.
I will roll 3d6 and use a help.
Very well.
Level. Oh no.
I mean, it's how much damage you're taking. I think this is.
Am I rolling? Am I going high now or low?
Roll me 3d6
Yes.
and take a help if you like it. The help will not injure you.
Okay.
Let's say that.
But am I disregarding the lowest die again? Was my question.
That is what you are doing
right.
now, yes.
All right, cool. I rolled 10.
You shudder. Your heart skips several beats. For a moment, you get a little bit of tunnel vision, then you shake out of it. No worse for wear besides the existential dread that you almost just died. Speedy.
I take it in glancing around the room. There is no. Well, I don't know. I don't speak Gaelic, so
There's no sword.
Yeah.
It wants a
What?
sword. It wants a sword.
I don't have a sword.
It wants its sword.
I'm gonna. Who's closer to me? Well, Montana's closest to me, and well, I don't know if he's closest to me or not, but he just got struck by this thing. I grab Montana by the back of his shirt collar and start dragging him backwards out of the stairs.
All right, you yank him out of the chamber. Very well.
We gotta get out of here. Come on, Lucas,
Lucas.
let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm leaving. I'm leaving.
All right, very good. Lucas immediately turns around and bolts out. Dr. Smith, you're being pulled out.
I cast
Going.
Humana.
Dr. Smith, are you doing anything besides assisting Mr. Boyd in getting you out of there?
I'm calling back in the best Old Gaelic that I can. We're sorry for intruding.
And roll me an archaeology on that one.
All right. The only ones I've been rolling well tonight. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. 17.
The creature stops as the three of you stumble back out of the entrance and into the light. It does not pursue you.
It's stopping.
We're no longer in combat. What would you like to do?
Do we think our friends that visited here earlier stole something from the crypt?
Maybe it's sword. Did either of you see a sword in there?
No.
No.
It wanted its sword.
Do we know who it was?
Well, I seem to be able to understand it, and it didn't pursue after I apologized. That's what I just yelled out to it. Maybe we could stand in the doorway and I can ask.
You peek back at the doorway and it's gone.
Excuse me, I yell in Old Gaelic. Are you still here?
Your voice echoes off the stone chamber. No response.
Your Grace.
Nothing.
My lord.
Nothing.
All right. It's not coming out. The blue light, and it appeared when we cut off some wax.
Yeah, I think our friends, the cultists, did something down here to keep it from waking up, stole the sword, and then left. And then I think we either undid whatever they did to keep it from waking up, or it was already done anyway. We just woke it up anyway. But
well, we can. Also, when we go back to the town, we can see if they saw anything. If they saw anything, if they saw, like, we don't know what this looked like from the outside. If they saw,
it looked like a blue flash. There was chanting and a blue flash.
Our experience just now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We don't, like, we were inside a tunnel when that happened. If we go back into town and they say we didn't see anything, then maybe our ghostly friend was out and then they've binded him in here. That's another option. I want to find out who that was, because if that's if that is a McLeod, then we know we have a pretty good place of finding something that might be a sword. You know, that the sword might be in the in the house. If it's the other clan, if it is McDonald's, then that's a different issue.
How did it react when we said McLeod?
It did not appear to have any reaction to that name.
All right.
With your archaeology, this probably predates the clan system.
Okay.
I think Aiden and his friend took the sword.
I want to go do something very stupid.
Mm-hmm. I'm all for it.
That's what
Do either
tabletop
of you-
role playing games are all about.
Do any of us have matches on us?
Yeah.
I will say yes, that you all have
Yeah.
matches or a lighter. It's the
I wanna light
30s.
the-
Everyone smoked.
I want to light a candle. I want to light the candles.
The candle. There are no candles. It's just wax.
Oh,
stubs.
it was just wax.
Yes.
All right.
When you took a sample of that wax, did you break like a line or did you break a seal? Do you think?
Well, it was windy down there. If there's any kind of seal or whatever, you know, maybe kind of gotten blown away. I think just any kind of interfering with that.
Yeah. Well, gentlemen, I can't move as fast as you. Speedy, live up to your name. Pull me out, please, if things get dicey.
Yeah.
I'll keep watch out here to see if I see anything up here.
All right.
All right.
Speedy, give me if you could shine light. So I'm going
Yep.
to take the penknife again, go back in, cut
The
off another
moment you
piece.
step through the threshold, the entity reappears and yells at you again. My sword.
I say back, I don't know about a sword. Who
Go ahead
are
and
you?
roll me an archaeology again.
All right. $19.
It stops. It looks at you and says, "Find it."
Who are you?
It says a name you do not recognize.
Okay.
If you were to guess, it's an old Scots Gael name that has no particular significance that you can ascertain.
Okay. We'll do our best. Was there anybody else in here? Not us.
Interesting. It responds, the others woke me, but my sword was already gone.
Oh.
Okay. Your Grace, what did they want? The others.
He essentially says, I don't know. They woke me and left.
Monty, what's going on?
Sleep. Bring me my sword.
We will do our best and find it for you. Thank you, my lord. And I bow as best I can on my bad leg. And I motion for Speedy to just
Speedy bows as well,
do the
just because
same.
he's like, I don't know what's happening now.
And we just back out of the chamber.
Yes,
What?
keep in mind, Lucas and Speedy, you have no idea what was just said at
Nope.
all.
I'm outside. Have I noticed anything outside? Like, is the light
There
breaking
was a
up?
slight glow, but it didn't flash the sky or anything.
Okay. That's what I wanted to know. Perfect.
And now you're outside, and the entity has disappeared once again.
All right.
Monty, what happened? What was that?
There was somebody else. Somebody else woke him. He doesn't know what they wanted, but his sword was already gone, and he needs to rest. He needs his sword.
Well, let's find that. Let's find that sword.
Lucas, I think you might be right. It might be at the castle.
Yeah. There's
As
so
old
many
artifact.
Yeah, there's so many things just around there. Let's stop and get my booze, and then let's go and look for that sword.
And did you see a blue light or anything when
It
we were
was
talking?
It was glowing, but I can't imagine it's anything as bright enough that the town would see.
Okay. All right.
Should we go back to the
Iron
castle and
sword.
look for a sword?
Well, let's go get Lucas's scotch.
Yeah.
Oh, it's probably potent.
So you're leaving?
Yeah.
The horse is very agitated, but it is still there.
It's okay, Gunpowder. It's okay.
And you manage to make your way back to Vatten, the village.
Mhm.
And it's early, but you do see Connor is there, and he's still mending nets, and he sees you come in. I came back early, did you?
Connor, do you know the name? And I repeat the name that the ghost said to me.
Nay.
Do you happen to
Sounds
know?
old.
Very old. Do you happen to know the name of any of the tribes or the clans or the lords who lived here in the long ago?
Hey, the only one I know that used to live in this area are the McLeods, and they were, they weren't really here until, I don't know, the 1200s, somewhere around in there.
Right.
That name sounds older than that.
It does. And one more question, Connor. Did you happen to bring back more than one bottle?
Hey, I brought 2. He gives you a little wink.
We'll take them both. We'll
Oh,
take them both.
aye. What you give me for them? And you haggle a reasonable price for bootleg whiskey.
Yeah.
I overpay him by 20% just to give him a little something for his troubles.
Hey, you're a good lad. Hey, try not to die anytime soon and come on back, eh?
That's our plan.
Connor, do you know anybody ever go up there and take stuff out of there?
Oh, I mean, people over the years have gone up there and poked around, I imagine. When the McLeods laid claim to this land back in the day, I'm sure they scoured everything.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Up until recently, the people used to go up there and just have a picnic up there and everything. It was quiet and peaceful and nice, good views. A little windy, but
What do you mean until recently?
about a week ago.
Okay.
Then the mood changed, and people haven't been up there since.
Doesn't matter what kind of population a place has. There always needs to be a creepy place for teenagers to go and smoke.
You're right there, my boy. Only in this case, they'd go up there and drink unsanctioned whiskey. Aye.
Well, thank you so much, and appreciate it.
Hey, well, if you need more, I'm brewing a fresh batch.
I might take you up on that.
Don't you tell them damned English, eh?
We're Americans. We have our own special grievances.
That's why I sold it to you. Gives you a little wink.
All right.
I'm trying to kill you.
All right, you have your 2 bottles of whiskey. What would you like to do next?
Go back to the castle and that's what I want to do. I'm gonna just start looking through all of the weird things that she has at that castle.
You get back there, and it's only about 3 in the afternoon when you get back. It doesn't take very long. And Flora greets you and sees you coming, and Jude is standing next to her with his leg in a simple plaster cast. And she says, "Oh, you're back. I am so glad. Are you everything all right down there?"
It was certainly interesting, Your Ladyship.
Oh, I know. It's interesting countryside. My family's been here for quite a while now, and they've explored a bit.
It's beautiful. We made it up to the Brock, and
Some would say it was enlightening.
Your American humor is lost on me.
and
Good.
other
I
Americans
apologize
as
for it.
well. So
Yeah. Yeah, I'm as we're being so I hand her back the walking stick belonging to her late husband and the shotgun. And I am just I couldn't help notice all of these like all of these display cases. What's the oldest thing you have here?
Oh, you saw our old artifacts that we've gathered over the years. I'd be glad to talk to you about them. And she takes you back into that room. Oh, my ancestors have been gathering artifacts found lying around over the past couple of 100 years. And she's talking about these Roman coins. They obviously traded across the wall for them, and she's going on and on and on. And this was found. This is a shipwreck on the side over there. This was taken from some sort of burial mound over here. And
wait.
This sword is one of our prized possessions.
What was taken from the burial mound?
Oh, this sword is right here. I'm not sure exactly where it came from, but one of my ancestors brought it, said it was a burial sword. It's very nice.
We have a pretty good idea where it came
it's all
from.
pitted and notched. You can see. Could never use it anymore, but oh my goodness, it's beautiful, isn't it?
And Gloommaster, do you want me to roll for this, or are we just assuming that this is the Iron Age sword that we're looking for?
It is definitely. You don't even need to roll for that. It is definitely an Iron Age sword. It is before the Age of Steel.
Is it glowing like there's an arrow going, hey, this is it?
Not as such, but
okay. Is there an exclamation point hovering above it? Like,
if this were animated, everything would be matte painted except for that, which would have clear lines as there's a character could interact with.
Yeah.
It is clearly you could press X on your PlayStation controller and interact with this object.
All right, cool. I am pressing X.
Mm-hmm.
Your Ladyship, this might sound weird, but this does not belong in a museum.
Aye?
Do you believe in ghosts?
And she kind of scoffs a little bit. Oh, my dear, I'm Scottish. Of course I believe in ghosts.
All right. Well, in that case, I'm so glad to hear that. This belonged to the Lord, whomever predated the MacLeods, who's buried in the Brock. And he wants this sword back so he can be at peace.
Wait. Spell this out for me again.
The lights.
The blue lights may be connected to the old Scottish lord who was recently disturbed by someone else, but he now can't get back to sleep without his sword. He's older than the hills.
Wait, you were at the Brock, eh?
Aye.
And so what you're telling me is that there's a ghost there that wants this sword back.
That's exactly what we're telling you.
That's exactly what we're telling you, yes.
And
he said his name was, and I say it in Old Scots Gaelic as best as I can replicate.
That's what we do.
Well, I don't recognize that name, but if it will keep the countryside at peace, please take it and put it back.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear you say that. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. 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 Yes.
It's
All right.
it's a rusted piece of metal that one of my ancestors brought here. I if it will make everyone happy, please take it.
Lady McLeod, Flora,
Aye,
would you like to join us?
would I? Oh, I would.
All right.
I think there
well,
will be great significance of the chieftains of the ages
Chief
coming to
McLeod.
coming to some sort of
Oh,
peace
I,
with each other
Jude,
across time.
saddle my horse, would you? I'm He sighs
Oh,
and
Jude.
and
Uh,
and limps off toward the stables.
I walk with Jude,
Mhm.
and I hand him a flask of some of the good stuff.
Hey, what is this?
This is Connor's special.
His eyes immediately get big. Connors. Oh, and he tucks it into his coat pocket. Oh, you're a good lad, American. You're a good lad.
Your ladyship, we will accompany you, and I think you'll get quite a light show out of this.
Oh, I'm. Oh my goodness, this is exciting. Aye. Let's go.
And hey, the light show is in Scottish national blue, so there is that.
She claps her hands. Even better. And so your little entourage returns to the Brock. The Lady Flora is holding the sword. You are at that entrance at the top.
And I assume we've filled her in on everything that's kind of happened. So
how much are you telling her?
I would say just about like we went up to just like leaving the Aiden stuff out.
All right.
Leaving that stuff out, just kind of like we but like we went up here to investigate the lights. Here's what we saw. Here's what Monty did. All of that stuff. But we're going to like leave out the whole thing about Aiden's participation in it for now.
All right. You get back to the Brock, to the entrance. There it is. And you're standing outside. It is quiet. Jude is there on the other crutch that Montana Smith was given a pair of crutches. He's on one, Montana's on the other, and they're both standing outside. She's there with the sword wrapped in an old wool blanket. And you're all of you are standing in that little space right outside that little entryway.
I get up to the entrance, ask her ladyship to stand right behind me.
Oh,
I walk, your ladyship, if you'll follow me. I walk across the threshold and say, in the old Scots, announcing her ladyship, Flora MacLeod of the Clan MacLeod.
Immediately a blue glow emanates, and that figure reappears and looks and goes, "My sword."
Your ladyship.
She is trembling behind you, but she slowly steps forward.
Yeah, I'm standing right behind her as moral support.
And she cautiously holds it out, and then with shaking hands unwraps the hilt and turns the hilt toward the entity. It looks for a moment. It reaches forward a skeletal hand. Its hand grasps the hilt, pulls the sword gently out of the blanket, and if a rictus grinned skeleton could smile, it has, and it says, "Aye, at last." And it puts it to its chest, point down, lies backwards and fades into the stone tablet. The blue light extinguishes.
Who's hungry?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Your ladyship.
speaking, you're gonna make some stuff, right? You were gonna make
Yeah, Speedy,
dinner?
you're gonna cook. Yeah.
Flora is standing there open mouthed, just agog, not aghast, but agog.
The guest is the thing.
She's not
Kinda-
afraid. She's stupefied, but by the events she's just seen.
Yeah, kind of like,
Yeah.
okay, let's step out.
All right, your ladyship. This is just kind of what we do. We can tell you stories. Oh goodness, Speedy's gonna whip up something great for you tonight. And Evans, do you have a wee dram of the good stuff?
Of course I do.
Your ladyship.
With a slightly more steady hand, but still shaking slightly, she takes it and takes a little drink. Appears unfazed by the strength and potency of this beverage.
Good for her.
And then she looks
right?
at all of you and says, "So, who do you work for?" And at that, the scene
Long
closes.
story.
And that is the end of our adventure here tonight. Friends, thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Gothic Horror Gaming. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I certainly did. Before we go on, I want to introduce our players here tonight. We're going to start with Lucas Evans. Lucas, would you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, I'm a different guy. I got glasses now. I'm Steve-O Dockerson, and you can find me at I am Hob the Troll. I'm going to be at the Pinellas Medieval Fair the 3rd and 4th, 10th and 11th in February, and that's at DK Farms. And then I'm going to be at the Tennessee Renaissance Festival the first 2 weekends.
Very good. May 4th, 5th, 11th, and 12th. Very
You
good.
can find me at hobthetroll.bandcamp.com, and I'm also on Cameo now. Hob the Troll is on Cameo. Yeah. Have Hob
You
the
weren't
Troll.
lying about that.
No, I absolutely, I am. I will sing Happy Birthday at your boss if they don't want it. And listen, I could do I will certainly do better than Vince Neil.
Can you give us some of these people might not know who Hob the Troll is.
The Fools.
The Fools, I know, right? Can you
hobthetroll.bandcamp.com.
Yeah.
Can you explain if they get you on Cameo what exactly they're getting?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I put on my troll stuff and I sing at them in a silly voice. It'd be weird to do it now.
All right, fair enough.
All right.
But they can go to hobthetroll.bandcamp.com and hear what you sound like there, right?
If you don't know me by now, you will never really know me. Ooh.
Oh, and who doesn't want that sung at their boss?
Yeah. I will sing Teddy Pendergrass for whoever
Perfect,
you
yeah.
want.
Excellent. We also have with us, if he can collect himself, we have Montana Smith.
Oh, I will take off my glasses to be a different person now, and my hat. Wow. Hi everyone. I'm Dan Kostelik. I'm also your friendly neighborhood Shakespeare. You can join me Tuesday mornings right here on the Nat 21 Adventures channel at 10 a.m. for Writing Sonnets with Shakespeare. I also have my brand new podcast coming out, Shakespeare's Coffee Break. It's coming this February. So not next Friday, but the following Friday. So I believe that'll be the 9th to the podcatcher of your choice. It's going to have a wonderful brand new theme song for it. It's going to be kind of a Frasier-esque jazzy version of Greensleeves. And
Nice. Of course.
Yes.
Why wouldn't you?
yeah. But also you can go to my I always talk about hobthetroll.bandcamp.com, but you can go to my Bandcamp as well, shakespeareapproves.bandcamp.com, because this coming Friday, 1 week from this Friday is the first Bandcamp Friday of the year, where Bandcamp does not take any cut for a 24-hour period. All proceeds go to the artists who make their stuff. So get Hop the Trolls album. You can get my 2 albums I have there. Are You There, God? It's Me, Shakespeare, and Shakespeare's Summertime Study Guide. So go check those out. And tomorrow on my Instagram, Shakespeare.approves, and Facebook, Shakespeare Approves, I'll be doing my announcement for where I'm going to be all this year, or most of it. And one of them is brand new and very exciting.
Excellent. Glad to hear it.
Yes.
We also have Speedy Pete Boyd here with us.
Yes. I can't take sunglasses off or put them on, so I'll do the sunglasses. Hello, everyone. I don't know. I'm actually Ryan Gelotti, and I'm one half of the Buckle and Swash comedy sword fighting show, performing at Renaissance festivals near you, including starting not this coming weekend, but the following weekend, first weekend, February, the Florida Renaissance Festival in Deerfield Beach, Florida. We'll be there for 8 weeks. That's a long time. South Florida is going to be sick of me.
Hey. We're already.
I know. All of Florida is already sick of me. And after that, we're going to be in Tennessee for 4 weekends of May, including Memorial Day Monday. And then right after that, we're flying to England to run some D&D games for Ren Adventures.
Indeed, we are.
That's the one right
and
there.
We'll get this plug in right now while we're at it. Renadventures.com, one of our sponsors, Destination D&D at the Muncaster Castle in England, June 2nd through the 7th. Your game masters playing D&D in an actual castle in England. Myself, Ryan, Speedy Pete Boyd, and also Paulo Garbanzo. So be sure to check us out there. Myself, I am the Glue Master. I am Tom Zadoyko. I'm the other half of Buckle and Swash. And indeed, we will be at the Florida Renaissance Fair. Then we'll be at the Tennessee Renaissance Fair. We've got some more fairs coming up during the year that we're finalizing details on. We'll let you know when that happens. South Florida may be sick of Ryan by the end of 8 weeks. I will definitely be sick of him and trying to stab him in the head repeatedly 4 times a day. So be sure to check that out. And then we'll be in England doing the Muncaster tour, obviously. Also, I run away with me, Katie. Katie, who is Dr. Sabine, those of you who have watched the show before, she was unable to be here tonight, but she will be back next week for our next adventure. You can find her at Rune Away with Me, Katie, on Instagram if you like. So be sure to check that out. In furthering of the plugs, I'm also part of Quill and Quote on Patreon. My wife, Handler Z, who's in the background doing the comments and doing all the lovely AV stuff. She's a writer. She's written some short fiction, horror, and science fiction, as well as poetry. We have a book available called Dare. It's on Amazon. It's on Audible. I narrate it. And you can support us on Patreon at /Quill and Quote. You actually have to type it in because our material is adult. And so you can't just randomly search it. You actually have to type it in order to find us. Support us on Patreon. Get the stories as she writes them, as I narrate them, before we coalesce them into a book. Our final sponsor I want to say thank you to is 3d2.org, our good friends who do gaming accessories, both 3D printed and wood laser woodcut. Find them over at 3d2.org. Friends, thank you so much for joining us. Tomorrow we've got a special event here on Nat 21. Flash Phantasmagoria, my wife, Handler Z, will be taking your suggestions and making some Flash fiction, fantasy or horror available live on camera with you tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning. So be sure to check that out. Be sure to check out Shakespeare with his stream as well. All the wonderful things we have available on the Nat 21 channel. there was something else I was going to say, and it just
Are those Ren Fair awards still? You can
that's
still vote for
exactly
that?
what it was.
Till
The
the-
Renaissance
till the
Fair
31st.
Podcast Awards are still up and running for voting. And you can find us at Ren Fair Podcast Awards. You can find that on Facebook. Right there it is, Renfest Awards. And vote for your favorite acts in various categories. Buckle and Swash is listed in, I think it's a two-person or small group action comedy is the category, I think. I don't remember the actual name of the category off the top of my head. Handler Z, my wife, Chase Treasure. They are listed in musical groups. Shakespeare Approved is listed in solo performers. And you can always write in Hob the Troll as a vote if you so desire.
For best
in there
joust
as well.
company.
Yes, best joust team.
Yeah,
Second
Yeah,
best
best
joust
joust
company
company.
in the Pacific Northwest.
Yes, very specific. He's a niche crowd. So you can also do that there. You can only vote once per email address. Don't abuse it. We and really it's just
That's not like a Red Robin where you can just get free burgers. No.
no. It's more of it. This is more for fun.
Yeah.
And to help out our friends over at the Renfest podcast build their base. So if you want to go on over to Facebook, check them out, vote for your favorite acts. Hopefully you vote for us. You don't gotta. If you got a favorite act that you really want to plug, go for it. Enjoy it. I won't hold it
But
against you.
if you
Also,
know
I have
what's
no
good
way of
for
knowing
you.
who you're voting for, so that's fine. It's not my awards. I don't know.
If you
But
want
friends,
special
thank you so
treatment
much.
on the D&D tour,
What's that?
I say if you want special treatment on the D&D tour,
On the D&D tour, Monkcaster.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Next week, we're going to be back again, this time with Dr. Sabine joining us again, and we'll see if we can wrap up the mysterious happenings here on the Isle of Skye in Scotland. I had somebody who earlier in the comments wanted, they said, can we get a little behind the scenes about all that? I'm just going to throw this out there really quick. All the pictures that I've been using are pictures that I have taken on the Isle of Skye myself. And I am not paid by the Tourism Bureau of the Isle of Skye or Scotland. But might I say, if you get a chance, oh my God, go to the Isle of Skye. It is so beautiful. It is so wonderful. That's where I proposed to Handler Z at, because it's my favorite place on the planet. And I'm so happy to be able to set a game here. Hopefully it will inspire a little bit of interest in all of you, that you at least check out pictures of the place, because it's freaking gorgeous. But beyond that, thank you all so much for joining us. We love that you come back and you support us week after week here on the channel. Yes, in fact, looking at the comments, I did in fact propose to her with a ring pop, because I thought, what would Deadpool do? And so I did. Thank you, friends. And until next Wednesday, enjoy, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Mwah!